All right, two more trig problems to wrap up our unit here. Tangent squared is our f of x and g of x is 3. So just like the last problem, we're going to set those equal. And just like the last problem, when we take the square root, we have to include that plus and minus. So tangent is plus and minus square root of 3. We remember our little trick for that? The tangent is radical 3. That's all our pi over 3 is. And when you're writing those in your ordered pairs, your y-intercept for those is, or I'm sorry, your y value for those, your y coordinate is 3. Because again, this is where that function, tangent squared, meets up with a line, y equals 3. So the y coordinate there, where tangent squared meets it, is always going to be, so you can write out those ordered pairs. All right, last problem. Almost made it. 5 cosine of x minus radical 3 equals 3 cosine of x. Don't be freaked out by this one because of the radical 3 in the middle. We know cosine is radical. We have lots of places on our unit circle where cosine has a radical 3 in it. Radical 3 over 2. So I'm going to start by combining like terms across the equal sign. I'm going to subtract my 5 cosine of x over. Don't drop that negative radical 3. This is a good reason to show your work. Bend the pencil lead so that you can be precise. So I have negative 2 cosine equals negative radical 3. And so cosine of x is equal to positive radical 3 over 2. So cosine is radical 3 over 2. Remember, that's our bigger distance. So I'm going out a lot, and I would only go up a little. So that's going to be pi over 6. Cosine is positive in quadrant 1 and in quadrant 4. So that angle is 11 pi over 6. You could graph this in your calculator to find the values where the y values where cosine, these two cosine graphs meet up. The other thing that you can do is plug in. I'm going to plug into 3 cosine of x just because it is going to be a little less work. So 3 cosine of x, I'm going to plug in both my values. 3 cosine of pi over 6 and 3 cosine of 11 pi over 6. Of course, at both of these places, cosine is positive radical 3 over 2. So our y-coordinate for both of those ordered pairs is going to be 3 radical 3 over 2. You are welcome to find the decimal approximations for these, but it is definitely not required. There are your ordered pairs. Great. I hope this review helps.